bother. Try to keep it to the numbers. You do everything by the number, and so many rested on the seventh day, right? Made the world and created it all in those 6 days. That's not actually biblically correct, but again, by the numbers. So thought maybe I'd simplify this and see if I can actually do a shorter version. So simple math. The math adds, tells the evidence, tells the timeline. I'll be able to establish timelines. So I'm going to keep going because I have to do this and document it. It's always been about these 180 hours that was the terms of release from the county from lake to lane. So maybe we'll simplify it a little bit. I can still fill in all the names that I had here from the top from, Michael Taylor, where I just on the last stream left the call, that what happened back in December 26, I believe, 2023. So I've just been trying to continue to compile evidence to the case. And so, we'll change it up. We'll simplify it. So I flipped it and we'll just do simple math. It doesn't take a degree in math or even, this is elementary. So shouldn't be too hard, and hopefully I'll be able to keep it kind of quick and make sure that, do it by the number. It'll tell it'll tell the truth, these 180 hours of community service that we're due. So maybe we'll get a couple of the regulars in here and we'll come in here and we'll have a little discussion here, and I'm sure they'll notice a difference because I did flip that board over on its side. Maybe we'll give it a little more room to work, and I'm not opposed to erasing it and putting more up there. How many ways can you simplify this to show them that a huge overreach by the law's part? They didn't listen to I'm trying, Tyler. I'm trying to do it, like I said. Thank you. Appreciate the encouraging words. So total hours, these are just write some stuff down. That'll be kind of, that's what I'm saying. They want to call these community service hours that were owed, for he was given 3 years probation, 36 months, the restitution, 180 hours to be completed. Community service out here, they call it road crew right out the gate. They don't have community service when he was working out here. This is like from 4 years ago. Like you get if you get convicted and you go to prison. Elijah didn't go to prison. He went to jail. Road crew is what it's called. So we'll be able to establish a timeline and 5 times 3 is so plus 20. So what all this equates to is just one day a week. What we're going to be able to establish is that Elijah was put on felony, he was put on felony supervised, there was a supervisor. There was 5 guys involved in felony supervised probation. So you can't make any mistakes. And if you do, you'll get a probation violation, which is called a PV. Oh, my bad. So, like I said, we can super simplify this, and that's what I've tried to do. Maybe getting all these other names and stuff off the board will make it easy for people to see. Again, this is an evidentiary stream, so I'm not concerned with your comments that don't make sense here. This is for a young man that's been thrown in jail. His wife and myself got thrown in jail and facing, 3 felonies charges and a Class C felonies and a misdemeanor. So this ain't some kiddie stream. If you're not going to help, I'll have a moderator, I'm sure, to come in here soon, or I'll moderate myself. Please just try to keep it to what we're trying to do here. So, Elijah, there was 2 counties that are involved in this. It's both Lake and Lane County. I'll write that down. Lake is where he was involved in this string of burglaries. We'll call it 5 guys in Lake County, and we'll also be talking about Lane County, where he transferred. He didn't want to stay here, where there's a bunch of police corruption, within the probation system. His probation officer was Lily Frank, so we're going to put her down here at the bottom because we want to keep that. I've had many conversations with this Lily Frank where I thought she was really overdoing it by giving Elijah, color coding him red and blue here. That's making him take P test when he was convicted. There were 5 guys. One of them was a gentleman, and I always start with that, but I don't know. He was convicted of rape and was released into this county after 13 years. 25-year sentence he was given. He did 13 years in prison and then released into this Lake County. So where the issue lies is that I've discovered by the number is that across the United States, there are other counties throughout the United States that are the poorest that they release with these type of programs, where these probation and parole, they get funding for these people to be within the system. So that's how my son got involved. And by the number, there were 5 guys involved. Their ages were 17, 19, 20. I think the other one was 19. Again, they were a bunch of younger teenagers. The one was a minor, and this gentleman who was convicted of rape and led into this county named Tony Karsten, where I was quite upset with my son for getting involved with him. These were all he was 40. He was in his 40s. He was 41 years old. So obviously he's kind of a criminal mastermind. And this how this normally works is normally if most of them just roll over, and 97% of cases people roll over and take a plea agreement. Most people don't take it to trial, not by the numbers. On an average, it's, nationally here in America, about 97% of about 3% on average take it to what is called a box, taking mine to the box. So, but that means they take that plea agreement, or they don't go to trial, or if they take it to the box or take it to trial, meaning they have to do a full trial, present all the witnesses and all that. It's talked to an attorney about this case today. It's like, wow, man, I don't even know if I have the bandwidth to do that, because there's a large list. I erased all the names, and I can still just put them up here by, I told you I know them because I've been involved since this whole incident with my son, where 5 guys, were involved in a burglary, not robbery. In this case, this man was convicted of robbery and rape, where he was high on methamphetamines, and he raped a Hispanic lady while high on methamphetamines. Again, just a guy that, I didn't want my son to be around. He was not good, and he was lying in this county about what his crime was about this lady supposedly that he raped, that he was like dating her, or that it was his fiance. People, we have the age of technology, and that's kind of what's unfortunate is this county has forgotten about all this stuff that's originally transpired, and why I was quite upset. Why my math is pretty simple, man. And it tells the truth, if nothing else. There's very few truths. That's the word aletheia in the Greek. So I was kind of messing with the man of God. I also pastor the word. But anyways, these are all teenagers. I'm rather upset because my 19-year-old son is the only one that spends any time behind bars and goes to jail. You know, they put him in county jail down here where I just got out of being in jail 2 weeks because I tried to tell him all this. Well, I had a little interruption there. I want to try to make it simple because the math doesn't lie, and it tells why Elijah left here after 5 months. He didn't want to be here, guys. Lily Frank, his probation officer, who again I believe to be criminal, and I know was now I have evidence too because her background is all going to come up that she has problems with I believe her service weapon or convicted of a gun crime and also of DUI. So this is not a lady who has, you know, a kind of some kind of saint, and she's not that long into the system, but I've talked to her personally back in this from the beginning. This all starts back in 2019, guys, right around before the COVID. So just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This case isn't new. The cops just swatted my house and wrecked my place, you know, tear gassed it, shot me in the face with a concussion grenade, and shot my son. The live stream is on this channel if you want to see it. It's a 16-minute video. You can see the other board with the list of people and the names that I had up of that I've had tried for 2 years to get involved. And then for 17 days, I live streamed straight trying to get them to come to my door. There's people who are locally called immediately like, that was crazy. Should have never done that. Guy's been streaming for hundreds of hours, trying to get you to just come to his door, talk to him. If you had an issue, he was just trying to get a one call. And so I've tried for 2 years, at least, you know, kind of with Elijah's case for even longer being deal with this other cases. It's really complex, guys. But either ways, the math will be simple. I'm just trying to make, 5 guys are involved in a string of burglaries. My son got caught in it by this rapist who was let into the system out here, who was funded. And my son was the only one to go to jail. So only one guy goes to jail. Well, that's how I got involved. You know, like, why is my son the only one in jail? And of course, he didn't roll over, and that had to let you know that had part to do with it. But that's kind of the way it works, brothers and sisters. You know, most people just take a charge and roll over to the system, don't make the system prove anything. And I'm concerned for his wife's right now. They had to turn me out of jail because after swatting my house and getting all this stuff to get celebrating the night before, you know, the whole deal that they did. It's a small town and people talk, guys. This ain't even a town I'm in, okay? Just so you know, you might want to look it up. Christmas Valley, Silver Lake, they're known for being heavy-handed out here. I had the owner of a company that sold thousands of acres out here, and he said himself organically that the people are afraid of the cops out here, and this town is known for that. I just happen to be the guy that's standing up, and my son got caught up with. He's not my son again. I'm not saying. Anyways, he took it for at least 10 and a half months, almost a year. He was in jail. The rapist didn't go to jail, and I was upset about that. How this rapist can run around in this county, and I was, you know, the 5 guys and only 1 goes to jail. Wouldn't you be upset if that was your child, even if he was wrong? Which, let's say he did all of it. Let's say he did all of it. I don't care about proof and guilt, innocent. None of that. I think this young man did his time. At least he did his time in jail. But we'll get to the 180 hours. So, trying to simplify it, Lady in Red. Thanks for coming in. You know, just whatever. The other streams are up. They're there. But anyway, so laying the groundwork for evidentiary purposes that Elijah was getting color coded by Lily. I was rather upset about, you know, Tony Karsten. 5 guys, 1 goes to jail. This is 2019 ish to give you the 4 of the background. So to show you that in 5 months, Elijah left from that time the county because he wanted to get out of here. Being color coded meaning he was getting piss tested. I'm going down to Lily Frank going, what the hell are you doing pissing my son for? There was no crime of you're insinuating drugs. He don't do drugs, you know. You're making him that first makes him look bad, and this is a crime of theft. And again, I'm saying he's the only one who went to jail for nearly a whole year. So back to the 180 hours. 5 months he left this county. That was the terms of his agreement to release from Lake to Lane. He had to have all his community service, road crew. We could put work crew, like if you go to prison, and Elijah didn't go to prison, he went to jail. Work crew, that's like if somebody go and you see him working on the side of the road. Well, they do that out here too. They have this black van with a trailer, and everybody in this town knows that Elijah was out there with Morgan and with Tom and with the two females. And then we also have, see, how do I know all these people? Because I was involved in this, guys. I was up this lady's ass about, why are you doing this to my son? You're heavy-handed here. And so they wanted him out of the county to shut me up, because there's priors with the, dealing with trying to stand up during the whole beer bug thing with, let's get the sheriff out here to stand up so OSHA can't come shut our little businesses down. I'm active in the community, guys. So very well known, and I mean like famous, but I'm known for standing up for the community as well. Did it during, I'm a veteran. It is what it is. You got to deal with it. So they get in the black van with the trailer. They go out to the dunes. They paint the fire station. They rate the same spot at the fairgrounds. I've gone over this. Elijah was seeing all these people's phones could be pinged because this tech. That's the thing that I've exposed, is that the probation system is just kind of he said, she said. It's almost like I'm writing it down and okay, well we'll say this. This never happened, so don't worry about that. That never happened, right? It's all like it's just written down. And so what? Tracy, put that back up there. I'm confused. I know it's crazy how they just pull hours in and out or do they want. But Elijah left the county after 5 months because if he just gets in the van 1 day a week, 1 day a week for the whole month, that's 4 times in the week. That's the 32 hours. It could be a little mix up, but I'm telling you, that's 160. He needed 180. There's days that he did work and got in the van to go work at the dudes and get on the side of the road, or like out here, because we live in the country, brothers, sisters, they don't have community service, okay, where you go work for, like where he was working for Food for Lane County over there and sponsors, and he was working at the food kitchen over there at the garden over there. All these, they have that in Lane County because it's a big place. And even they might even have some of that now, but I'm telling you, this was 4 years ago. So like work crew, they get the black van, and maybe somebody needs like somebody disabled. They'll put a load of wood on the truck, right? They got wood in the back of that van with the trailer. They'll load up a bunch of wood and drag it out to what's called the sinks out here. That's a half an hour, 45-minute drive just to get out there. Load that. They get time for windshield time. Most of the time they get their 8-hour day. But they'll drag that out there back. They do these things like that. They clean up on the road. I mean, for him to say he didn't do hours, but I'll try to move along because I don't want to make this all night. I just want to try to do this, and I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I need to at least try to, do a dry run here, if you will. So, anyways, brothers, sisters, my son had already done all these hours, showing that if he just got on that's just 1 day a week. There were multiple times that Lily had made him get on that in the van and work more because I was a little upset how much. So they rushed him out of the county. If Elijah would have missed because he's on felony supervised probation, they would have given him a probation violation for not, especially supervised by this lady. She's on you like flies on stink, and then actually, well, okay, I'll just try to keep moving. But there, you can't mess up. You can't miss any. So there's no way that Elijah did not do any of these hours. If he did, he would have got what is known as a probation violation. So Elijah leaves the county. It would be on. We'll write this down. What is known as his action plan. Okay, it's called an action plan. And what this is this is provided according to your crime. Like, Tony the rapist, I don't know what kind of rehabilitation you have for a rapist. I don't know. But let's say you're a husband and a wife or something, you get in a fight or something, and you both beat the crap out of each other. And so you probably both need some anger management, right? And I ain't into any of that, but let's just go with this, guys. You're like, man, I've been on anger management. That's it. No, but let's just run with this, all right? They're going to try to assert they're going to actually give you a number, assign you according to whatever crime that you committed. I don't care if you're a parolee or probationary, and I don't care about somebody's past. If they did something, they made a mistake, and so we need to apply some kind of rehabilitation. And that's what I'm trying to explain. What this action plan does, it assigns you a number, like you get certain numbers if you've been convicted before and all this. Okay, but what this is trying to help lower your number and your chance to re-offend, or commit another crime, okay? So they're trying to help you, they say, by this action plan, which is only like now, what action plan, Tracy? These things should not be just written down by hand. But it is. It's not digital at all, and this is the problem with this system. So you didn't go to anger management. You didn't go to anger management. Yes, I did. You didn't go to anger management. You guys, things like this happen all the time in these systems. So I thought you had anger management written down. They're supposed to write them down. Well, no, they're a nonprofit, so they're not actually working for the guys. There's so many holes. We live in such a digital age that anybody that's been on probation right now is like, damn, this guy's right on. Dude, this happened to me. Holy crap. So thought about making a movie about it, guys, because this is how these crooked probation officers do their targeting with like this rapist. And now I don't know how to rehabilitate that. But again, anger management, they're trying to help you. And they're supposed to, this major word that we need to write down, they're supposed to be there to help you. To help you. This system is designed supposed to help the person not only not re-offend, but to get them off the system, to get them out of the system, not keep them in the system. And I'm telling you, that's a bunch of bull crap. They keep people in the system by doing this crap, brothers and sisters. It's like Neanderthal probation, Neanderthal parole. Look, people make mistakes. I'm a veteran, you know what? And right now I'm facing 3 felonies, if you want to judge me, Class C felonies, and a misdemeanor for stepping in front of these police officers saying, "Bull, you're not putting my son in some rape cage where some man can't keep his, I hope there's no children in here, but can't keep his genitals to himself, because he's been locked up too long, and he's the one in there they divide by race and religion in there, brothers and sisters, in prison, and ain't no crap. So I ain't judging nobody for nothing that they did. I don't give a crap. People make mistakes, but when you go in the system, and I'm not about taking people's rights, you don't treat them like they're a dog. That's what they do to these people. Come over here, do this thing, bad dog. Oh, did you do that? Come, stay, bad dog. They don't. Try calling these people, guys. They'll treat you like a criminal. I'm not kidding. So, sir, if you don't calm down, if I talk like right now, you're yelling at me, sir. I'm going to hang up in 3 seconds. 2, 1. I'm serious. A robot could do a job better than these people, brothers and sisters. It is what it is, man. So I'm just trying to do the numbers and show you how they do this, guys. And this is my son getting caught up in a double dip where we haven't even got to it yet, guys. But they're supposed to there as a action plan, which should be done digitally, and so that you can get a copy of what you did. And so, oh, hey, Elijah, you drove down here, and so just as like a little instant, we'll go, because I see there's some people here that have been in this system, and I'm doing it for you guys, okay? This bigger than my son and bigger than me that are all facing felonies right now, just got swatted, and
whatever. But hey, Elijah, you see on your Android, they got these things called Android phones now. You guys just check it out. It's crazy. They're called Androids, and they got these other things too. Check it out, man. This is for evidentiary purposes, guys, too. They got these things that are called iPhones. I've never actually owned one of these things. Well, they got iPhones, man. You believe it? I mean, we do live in 2024 right now, right? The iPhone's in it, but nothing like this in probation. This is no, you didn't go to that nonprofit and do that work over there. What the hell are you talking about, Elijah? Okay. Oh, wait, Elijah, you're on your Android, right? You got that Android, and you just came down here because it was pissing. It was pissing, and we had an ice storm here, right? In the valley, and everything got frozen, and like we're in Lane County where he's at, things could freeze over. I mean, your car doors, you can't even open. And you came down here, Elijah, and you were the only one to show up. So I'm going to give you an hour, Elijah, for showing up. Thank you, Elijah, for coming down. And it's an honor system. I'll get. Oh no, wait! You see it? It's on your Android, right? 181 hours, right? Oh, you got the super ringtone or whatever. You can assign your own tone to it, right? How come this isn't happening in probation right now, brothers and sisters? No. I'll give you an hour, Elijah. And then they never. What are you talking about, Elijah? I reported what I could. I'm talking about Dan Budd, who's a part of this case and be a part of my trial. Mr. Dan Budd, for the record, who said I couldn't even give Elijah his numbers on how many hours he turned it in on all this work he did over there in Lane County after he'd already done these hours back here, because we haven't even gotten into what they've done to him yet. But I'm just giving you some scenarios. I know there's a couple of you guys. Even if I talk to 2 or 3 of you guys, it ain't about a number because it's an evidentiary stream. It's like a couple of you guys have been in the system. You're like, damn, man, I know. So just keep going, dude. I guess so. I'm talking to just you guys right now. I'm doing this. They swatted my house and everything, guys, and I'm standing in because I know this happens throughout the United States. Okay, we're supposed to be some kind of free. There are more people locked up in the U.S. prisons and private prisons, guys, that are given a guaranteed occupancy of 80% before they're ever built. I'm a guy that's exposing this system is corrupt, and I'm lucky that I didn't really use, and I kind of, brothers, sisters, this live stream like I'm doing right now is the only thing people think that kept me alive that day, is walking out that door. If you want to see the live stream, it's on this channel. It's probably about 10 videos back now, but you'll see long live streams. And then there's one that's like 16 minutes, and it just shows kind of like a smaller version of this. And you came in and seen that sunset. That's to the Table Rock to the west of me. So it's pretty intense. I can't watch it ever again. I don't think I ever want to watch it again. It's just too hard for me to watch. And I'm very happy with my son's performance of not being, and they did shout at him, guys. If you want to see anything like that, they didn't hit him with real bullets, but at the time I didn't know. It was a lot. And I heard, don't think I didn't hear that. You'll hear it in the video. 45 seconds. They shot me in the face, headshotted me. Okay. All right. Let's keep going, guys. I want to try to make this as short and sweet, and I'll refine this. I'll do this again a couple times. But so anyways, guys, where I'm trying to go with this again is we'll go back to anybody. Again, I'm just talking to a couple of you guys. So, because you've been there, I'm talking about this whole action plan thing, because this is really, and they might have a little bit different name, but it's always the same thing. On this action plan. So Elijah completes all his terms to leave, because that's the terms of his release. He doesn't have to pay off all the restitution, because restitution is going to come up. Everybody knows he was convicted of theft, and these was felony. So, but he went all the way. He did everything he needed to do. Otherwise, he would have been PV'd. Month 6 now. Keep in mind, this is month 6. Elijah shows up to Lane County. It doesn't say anything on his action plan about that community service or road crew or worker. I don't care what you call it. He got out here. We don't have that community service. They only get in that van and go work and do all the different, again. So I hope I made that clear on how, again, there's no way Elijah didn't do any of these hours because he would have got a PV in those 5 months. So guys, I'm the only one out here in the desert where he's at now, because that's where they put him back there. His wife, he can't be within contact. I can't be within contact. And also, we all have no contact order. His wife is just incredible that they don't have, guys, I'm going to lay this out right now. I had the warrant, and I'm going to show you right now that they came in here and swatted my house and arrested Adriana, and she's not even on this warrant. That's incredible. That's a big mistake. They made a lot of mistakes, brothers and sisters, in this whole thing. She's not on the warrant. They have to show probable cause. Your Fourth Amendment right, brothers. I'm a veteran. I was a tyrant veteran in a military police too, in law enforcement. So unfortunately, he said, come out of her, my people. So if you watch my channels in the past, I ain't tiptoeing through the fact I don't like being a veteran. Please don't thank me for my service. I can't stand that I have an honorable discharge out of the military. Anyways, don't get my PTSD going, please. I didn't say I had it for a long time, didn't have any help, but I realized that I do now. It is what it is. But brothers, sisters, they have to call out under your Fourth Amendment. That gives you the right to be secure in your houses, papers, persons, and effects. And these cops take an oath to the Constitution. Okay, irregardless, veteran or not, you can be a soldier of God. You can be a soldier of this country. I know veterans that in this country that stand up, even more veterans that I had to serve next to. You remember what we did and all these horrible things in other countries for us? Not freedom, it's about choice. Remember, they're supposed to have choice. Why are these people wearing masks? And anyways, I got a little PTSD from that whole thing too. Paul, but anyways, I think I have a sound mind enough to know that under my Fourth Amendment, and your Fourth Amendment, you realize that you in this country, under this Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, I don't care if you have citizenship in this country, there are rights. If you are on this land with all this stuff, that I ain't been able to keep up with all this border stuff, guys, please be real. Assert your rights. And that's all I'm doing. And I'm being targeted. That's what it is. And because of what I've been doing out here, because of before the whole, the COVID thing doesn't help when you try to get the elected sheriff to come stand in with the small business and go, let's be the only one in the nation to do this. Let's stand up for these people's rights. Remember the standoff, Bundy standoff over there where they told the elected sheriff came in and told the feds to get the flock out of Dodge, right? And they had to go. Well, let's get Mr. Taylor, let's get the elected sheriff out here to stand with Kathy, stand with Dorothy, stand with all these businesses, guys. They don't like me because I'm a loudmouth. I'm a veteran that tries to stand. Under your Fourth Amendment, you have the right to be secure in your houses, papers, persons, and effects. You have the right to unabated warrantless search or seizure. If they do not have a warrant, with probable cause, they can't arrest. And they arrested his wife, guys. Bad mistake. And I don't think they plan on even arresting her. I think they came in and plan on, as most people said, Tracy, if you didn't go out that door live streaming, they would have shot you. Just like the standoff in the desert out there at the wildlife, they'd send in the Oregon State Police to do their dirty work with Lavoy Finicum. And I'm not saying that I'm some kind of Lavoy Finicum, brothers, sisters, but I did stand up during the COVID for this community and the business and the people and veterans, and now even against this corrupt system. And I do believe they think they were going to get rid of me that day and maybe even take out two birds with one stone. But if they got me, I'm sure they thought my son would be just out of his mind. They could throw him in the system and never even planned on arresting his wife. But things didn't go as planned, I think, So anyways, her not being on this warrant is very concerning too, guys, because they threw me out of jail because they couldn't even provide me an attorney. Now, they did all this after ransacking my house, blowing holes in my windows. And, there's at least two or three tear gas canisters came through this window. The other window's completely blown out in the top. And so they weren't, 45 seconds into the live stream, you'll see they shot me in the face. So, they weren't coming. They came here to, I believe, with different intentions. And I'm not some kind of rocket scientist, or you do that. Maybe I'm getting off doing this. It all should just be math, but that don't add up to me, why she's not on this warrant. but they can't give her any legal representation and give me any legal representation at this time, guys, which is criminal, because how could you do all this? And then, guys, let me get a little more math. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can, and trust me, they will use everything you say against you in a court of law. You have the right to attorney. If you give up that right, one will be afforded. You also have the right to be quiet and use, your right to silence under the Fifth Amendment, right? You have the right to be STFU, right? Okay, we'll put it in modern days terms. So, brothers, sisters, remember that right. Unabated warrantless search or seizure. I think that's a massive, massive mistake. Well, how's that not math? They have to release you after 7 days if they don't have you an attorney. 7 days. And if not, that's illegal. And I don't care what your crime is if they can't provide that attorney for you. Now, they couldn't provide me an attorney in 7 days. They haven't provided his lady. Now, they did let her out the next day with charges, 2 felonies. That's sickening, and I've already covered that. So, but anyways, if they keep you for 8 days, that's illegal. And, Elijah's attorney, who he does have an attorney, his name is Dan Spencer, who's court appointed. They only have 2 attorneys. Let's do a little more. Only 2. Even I called my attorney, John Caligo, today, who I haven't actually retained and given a fee because he's busy with another case but did speak with him today. He did speak with the Sherman Center. This is for evidentiary purpose, brothers and sisters. Over here with Sergeant Black and Sergeant Dumar, where Elijah did work at the Sherman Center. But anyways, he did speak with him with this warrant. He said it will probably be dropped. But brothers and sisters, the problem is they couldn't even give his old, his lady. They're not old. I call it his old, but they were both. They're younger. He's been with her, 5 or 6 years. They've been together quite some time. And so I consider my daughter, okay? And she got caught up in this, and now they got charges on her without the warrant. It's really bad. They made a lot of mistakes. When they arrest somebody, again, when you have the right to remain silent, anything you say you can do, you have the right to the attorney. If one not will be appointed to you after a week, all the counties, my attorney today said, Tracy, they're having a problem in the state supplying attorneys. I said, I know, John. On my live stream, I've been saying that there's only 2 in this county. So I was hoping that his wife would have had that other court-appointed attorney, and he did help me, which is Mr. Matt or Mark Costello, and he helped me, guys, quite a bit, and he was very and gave me some really good information too. As far as that's his job, I tried to retain him. He's like, look, I work for this state. I don't do I don't take money. I work for the state. So what it is he's a public defender. So that made sense, right, guys? But he was some really good. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a silver lining, kind of me going down there after them throwing me in jail after the SWAT, this whole thing, and his secretary was wonderful. And but again, John tells me that, Tracy, that's a statewide problem. I said, no, I know, John. I'm trying to expose that with part of my case that I was telling you about. And and he's like, wow, this really is a lot bigger. I told you guys today that because I had a lot more information up there earlier, that this goes back 4 years ago. And I tried to put out that my son had done these 180 hours. So we'll move on real quick and let you know. They didn't keep me 8 days. They didn't keep me 10 days. They gave me actually 2 weeks, guys. And Elijah's attorney, who was standing in for me, which is illegal because you can't have, he's my son. You can't have that in the same case. He said that, look, dude, if you hold this guy any longer, you're jeopardizing this whole case, that he can come back and sue you. This is against the Ninth Circuit, whatever court real, there's something in the that they're doing with that law, brothers, sisters, but it doesn't change anything. They're still supposed to let you out. Even Klamath County, there's nowhere in the state of Oregon are they keeping people more than 7 days. And they had the balls to keep me in there 14 days, guys, because I was worried about these animals, these dogs. They had SWAT raided, tear gassed me, shot me in the face. At the time, remember, I didn't know if they'd shot my son. Very concerned for his wife coming out to what they were going to do to her. myself, I did, I wasn't, you see me coming out, you're not going to shoot me, right? But I'm like, free. I'm like, I'm trying to do it to document it, guys, for everybody that's get caught up in this kind of stuff. It happens to people, man. Most people won't stand up to this, but I will. So let's go back to month 6 where Elijah shows up, and it doesn't say, okay, Elijah, you got to pay $100 to get on community service and start doing community service. Okay. Nowhere in his action plan does it say it, because it was done back here in order, if he just does 1 day a week, if he works twice a week and 1 day, we'll cover that without making it 32. But I'm telling you, that's just 1 day a week, him getting on there equals the 160. He owed 180. That was the terms of his release. Lake got a hold of Lane because they're really still pissed at me and really pretty much just rushed him out of here. I mean, I showed you he got out of here because there was a couple times I think he said something about having to work like 3 days in one, and he was trying to get us something other else to get done and get out of here too. So anyways, at month 6, nothing. And so I want to document this, that at month 18, right? Because anybody that's listening, again, I'm not talking to any trolls or anybody else in here. I know I'm just talking to you guys that have been in the system, because people make mistakes. And again, right now I'm facing 3 felonies and a class C, a good thing I'm not class A or whatever. I don't care. I don't think I'm gonna get convicted of any of them, but it is what it is. But at 18 months, I call that attorney John Caligo, because John is his, and the one I told you that I spoke with today, about the case, again, when he'd already, is involved but not retained yet as my attorney. Okay. He wants to make sure he has all the time he needs to do it right, guys. That's what a good attorney will do. But I call him because we need to put this guy, Ryan Solberg is Elijah's probation officer. Okay. And Ryan Solberg knows Elijah because Ryan Solberg was my probation officer when I got in trouble for going out there. If you go, my charges got expunged. But I told people in this day and age, man, all this stuff you do is on the internet. It don't go away. So look at the whole Mike thing. It's kind of a silly case. It's every once in a while it comes up. I got it expunged, and it's anything I can legally say I've never been arrested. But I'm telling you, I don't hide from nothing. So, but kind of ironic that Ryan Solberg was both my probation officer, but again, at 18 months, Elijah had 36 months. And if you do everything you're supposed to do and you don't get any PV, so Elijah at month 18 has no probation violations and has gone from felony supervised probation to where he's just reporting and unsupervised. And so you guys, this is for you that have been in the system. And so, if you've done what you're told and you can get out of their grips, you can come down to where you're just calling in. See, I want you to be tracked when you're working, so that you went there when you were working, not went here after you left or before. You're not getting in trouble. That's not what, guys, you don't treat people like freaking dogs because they make a mistake. So anyways, Elijah hits month 36, right, or 18. That gives him the ability because he's done. So I call John Caligo. Now I want to let you know that I called John Caligo to help facilitate this Lane County move. And he told me again, Tracy, remember over there, they do what they want. You knew that when your son got in trouble. And you called me and said if he was in any other county, I'd have him out by now. But those people are known for doing that's that's as wide as it's. Apologize, guys. Might just be late. So, but anyways, thank you for letting me know there. But watch out there, potato. Put your pants. So actually did a fire because I think I got a fire going in here, guys. So I do want to establish that for Elijah to leave, I called John Caligo back here we're going to put at least a tally kind of for this back here to help facilitate. And he's like, Tracy, their community service, I'm a criminal attorney, his hours, just make sure his hours are done and do what what he's supposed to do, whatever they tell. So I called Lake County Probation. I called myself Lake County Probation and over here, Lake County Probation, I called this office over here. So you will find me calling this office, and this can and will be summoned in my case when I take it to the box of this call back here. And the secretary when it gets on and says, no, I said, hey, I called my attorney. He wants to make sure we got documentation. I need to go back, check on your computer and figure out how to, that call is going to be back here in month 5, guys. They can't run from this telephone call because the digital. That's why I'm trying to explain to these people. You guys messed up because you think you're running, you can run from this information, but you can't. I called and you told me that Elijah had no hours. They were all completed with these 180. So I don't want to. I wanted to add that because it was something that I had left out that I did facilitate because I was pissed at Lily and wanted to make sure that everything was code. Green, he could go and call John to help facilitate that, where he, told me that you should call, and I will, my phone call will say, hey, I talked to my attorney and this is what he said. So they can't run from that phone call. He had no hours. Then at month 18, I call John again. And say, John, now I can't figure this out. And him, remember those 5 guys that was involved in the crime, and Elijah was the only one to go to jail. Even the rapists didn't go to jail. They were all teenagers. It looks like they're sticking him with $47,000, John. How I can't pay that off. And is that the whole thing? And I know there's some homeowners that go in on restitution, that chip in, and because homeowners insurance, it was covers because these were like a couple abandoned cabins, and this rapist guy had told these kids, basically they're 19, 17, juvenile, 19, 20, that this guy raped or was a pedophile and got kicked out of here a year ago, and he hadn't been here, and they thought they were some kind of vigilantes or something. I don't know, but it wasn't. Nobody was there at the time of any of these supposed break-ins. Okay, but I was again rather upset that my son, the only one to do, any time. Okay, so they're rushing him to get him out of the county, and I want to make sure you do know that I'm in touch with this, probation office. Going, all right. Is he's good? I've called. So at 18 months, I call, my attorney and say, I think they're doing this again, like he's getting screwed over, like he got screwed back here and we barely got him out of there. I can't pay 47. Even if I divide it up 5 ways, that's still like what, 95 or 94, 9,500 bucks or something. What is rounded? I guess 9,500 bucks or something, about $10,000. And I said, man, Elijah, dude, I don't have 47. I just bought that land or whatever. And I said, dude, I don't even know if I can swing 95. You got any money right now? He's like, Dad, I've been trying to get the other hours documented and I can't, I can't seem to get, it's so expensive. I said, that's cool, son. I just don't have it. And if I did, guys, he would have been off probation already at 18 months because he had no PVs. So guys, now watch, this is where it gets a little crazy. So at month 6, he's got no PVs, nowhere on his action plan. At 18 months, did it mention all the way up? So we're going to go from month 16 or month 6, because he got 36 months, to month 18, no probation violations. Again, my attorney's aware of that. We were going to try to get him off there. He couldn't give me the exact. He's like, Tracy, well, it still hasn't ruled, and there's this, on the homeowners yet. And so there's in some cases where if they can get the money from one person, they'll take it or whatever. I'm like, okay, thank you, John. I don't want to waste your time. And I let him go. Okay. It was, the attorney was, a contact. So why are they running from this evidence, guys? So Elijah puts his head down. tries to, and again, I really wasn't happy about him going over there, guys. There's a lot of people over there. I don't like the city. I'm a country guy over there, but I want to let you know that Elijah's brother is over there, his mom's over there, his stepdad's over there, his grandpa, grandma, nana, papa, uncles, aunts. I'm the only guy out here in the desert. So that's why he left and wanted to go out of here. I mean, isn't some like, and they were treating him like shit, guys. I mean, Lily was really heavy-handed with the color code, and there was a few days he did work 3 days in 1 week. So I believe Elijah did more than 180 hours back here, but we know he did these hours, and this is why whole things happen, guys, because he got up to month 33. Month 33. Okay? Now keep in mind, we'll go back here, and Elijah got this $47,000, or whatever, which wasn't all, we'll just say if he had to pay it all, which that was between 5 guys, should have been split. He got 36 months of probation, which is 3 years. And he had 180 hours of community service or road crew or work crew or whatever they want to call it. It doesn't matter. He still worked, and he went to work for the system. In this case, we just only have a township, not even a town. And so there is no nonprofit out there. Might be now, but there wasn't then. And they tell Elijah, okay, now in 3 months before you get off, now keep in mind, guys, I played you videos of me messing with these cops over going, you guys are corrupt. This lady stole from me, and you guys aren't getting involved, and all these other things that I've had problems with this county. The corona would stand with this Kathy. She's, a small business, and we could be the only one in the nation to do this. And, remember the elected sheriff in the Bundy standoff really tried to, hey man, I'm a veteran. I wanted to see people not stand on the X. I'm smarter than that. So right from the beginning to say, man, I've seen too many Wile E. Coyote cartoons to be standing on no X. I ain't going for this, and I ain't putting on your mask because, we wore a mask and wear masks, all over the world, different, all parts of the desert, no matter if it's Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Iraqi Freedom, all these different, Afghanistan is 20 years. You guys put your mask on and wear it in the desert, wear it at 100 and something for, hours and get outer respiratory infections so others don't have to wear them. I just wanted people to have choice. Remember, I try to remind veterans again that I serve, man, this ain't freedom that we fought for, these horrible things, and women and children unalive, not even battle dress uniform, but literally not even soldiers lose their life so that people in this country could have what? Not freedom. Freedom of what? Why dead children? Why dead, women? Choice. Remember, people are supposed to have a choice. You can't force things on anybody like that. So whatever, it is what it is. I'll let God judge me when it comes to that. Oh, I won't put on the mask, and so I'm the bad guy. Now people want to fight me. Oh, man, I'm a veteran. Hold on, wait a second. You're treating me like I'm the bug, So anyways, it is what it is, brothers. I don't hold back what I did, and so they don't like me because of that. There is a history before why they started this police targeting, that they're exposing that there's other corruption going on out here in handfuls, guys. Stories that would blow your mind. But here it comes, because they're pissed at me and I'm still out here. They got a way to mess with me, and they tell Elijah, hey, Elijah, at month 33, you can't get off probation at month 36 until you complete these 133 hours that you didn't complete back here in Lake County, saying he didn't do these. So somebody do the math for me, and that's simple math, but somebody's got to do some math. No, I'm not on probation as of yet. I'm facing 3 felony charges. They just ransacked my house with SWAT team and multiple heavy armed vehicles, and boy, shot me in the face with a concussion grenade. I remember I'm a veteran, guys. I ain't trying to, people are like, dude, you didn't even move, dude. You just you didn't even flex, and then they shot that first thing into because you shot that first one and you're like, oh shit. Anyways, brothers and sisters. So how many hours did that mean that Elijah would have done? Let's do this. Come on. Some of my people been on probation or parole, guys. This ain't math you need a calculator for. I mean, if you could get a piece of paper and write this down, just help me out on this one, guys. Come on, we do a little math together on this. So Elijah, I already hopefully established he did all these. So at month 33, he's got 3 months He got 3 months until he gets off. Look at these numbers, too. Tell me this ain't crazy. He got 3 months before he completes the 36. I told you God does all this by the number. And this is bigger than me and Elijah John Werner, myself, Tracy John Werner. And now, hey, I'm all this is about Adriana Massey. Please take us a minute, guys. And if you support any of this, I'm sending all funds to Adriana, his wife. They've charged her without this warrant. And right now she doesn't have legal counsel, guys. In this county, they only have 2 attorneys on the whole county, which is the second largest county. It's actually a state problem. And I need right now, I'm hoping if I can get it out, you can write like Keeley to people outside the state and help me out because the state's involved. This just used to be me in this little county having this war with the corruption. But then the state of Oregon stepped in, try to Lavoy Finnick and me, we'll call it that I don't know, brothers, sisters. That's what the other people said. Tracy, you're so lucky. If you would have walked out and not been live streaming, they were going to shoot you. That's why, come on, why is she not on the war? I don't think they plan on charging her with anything, brothers, sisters. I think they plan on taking this guy out that wouldn't shut up during the COVID, before the COVID. Came out here, talk about you rich farmers think you can run this town. And guys, I sat on the Chamber of Commerce out here. They don't, whatever. Go organically, bring the alternative media in here. And I think this thing would be okay because I think this would go out of this state and it would go global and it would be on, national news. And it should be, guys, because I'm exposing, just other than the police and probation targeting, that this state has a problem with. They can't even, there's not enough prosecuting attorneys to convict all the crime right now. I was one of the, I don't know how many others. I hope there's not others like me, brothers, sisters, because they can legally only hold you for 7 days if they cannot provide you an attorney. And until I sell some land or something, I just took the precious metals that I had, gold and silver, and bailed my son out a $10,000 bill. Remember back here, only $9,500 could have got him off probation. Well, that, it was, his bail was like 97. So it was like 10 grand or something, all the gold. And I didn't have a bunch because I only had a couple little pieces or whatever, I think less than an ounce or whatever, but that's a couple, $2,500 or something in gold and, silver but it got him out. So I don't care about that, but anyways, I need funds for her, guys, because this county can't even supply her an attorney at this point. If you want to help me out, help her out. I'll be fine. I'll figure out how to, my case is not going to be up for, I'm taking it to the box, and I don't think this county can afford it. And I really honestly do think if you can help me with this, it will help the case itself. But once I get it out, it will not even require any money on my part, my son's part, or her part, because this is like a pellet case type of case, guys. It's exposing. Judges go to jail. Not all judges are, in this country that happens. Police go to jail. District attorneys go to jail. Prosecuting attorneys, it happens, guys. Not everybody is, even the system is perfect. I got a list of them. Crusher Brunsman should be relieved of duty. I called her about this situation and said, what the hell are you talking about? My son has 133 hours. He completed all this back here. Ma'am, I'm a veteran, and you know what? I tried to call and get somewhere, but I can't get nowhere. And I don't want to jump my command, but you're the head of this county. You should be able to know about this. His terms of release into your county. You know what I'm saying? Well, Christian, I think I'm trying to do what I can do, just even more for my son. Now, his wife, you heard her. Adriana, please go peacefully. Imagine what I thought. I don't mean to go there, Christine, like that. But when Elijah went out peacefully, he goes out, and I know he's out there. He's go peacefully, and then you hear them. Brrr, I didn't know. He made not a sound. As I didn't move. They shot me in the face with the concussion grenade. I didn't move, but he didn't. So I didn't know if he was laying there just dead. That was at least like 7 to 8, 10 rounds they shot at him. I thought he was, I didn't do it, and I didn't want to freak out because I'm worried about Adriana in there going, what the, and then you hear me, please come out, Adriana, come out peacefully, come out, and I'm like, I don't know. I was in the moment. I don't ever think I could watch that live stream again, guys. It's very hard for me to watch. But it is what it is. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Okay, so it's in the number too, guys. Look at these stinking numbers: 6 and 18 and 36 and 33 and 3 and 133. So, anyways, probably give me the strength to finish this up so I get these people go to. I'm rather upset, and Gresha is her name. Gree, Golf Romeo Echo Echo T Tango Juliet Echo Gresha Brunsman. Okay, we'll put B. I called the head of probation and said, "Look, lady, this is crazy. I'm not getting anywhere with Lake County with getting these hours documented. What the hell is going on here? How does my son have these hours?" I actually call John Caligo again, guys, about this. How many times are they going to run from this? Call him, my attorney, again, about these, like, Tracy, But anyways, I let her know about the whole thing, about this whole how's it even a possibility? And I have, I could start a list with Gresha Brunsman because I think I at least talked to her at least 3 times in person. I want those summons, those calls. I have the right of discovery, and you can't hold those calls back. I don't think you can do them on Elijah's or Adriana. How did you arrest her without a warrant? The state of Oregon executed that warrant, guys, and I'm concerned of their unprofessionalism, and I think they did that on the fly. Oh, shit. Adriana, we have a warrant for your arrest, So, anyways, multiple calls to her, and then I just kept calling her back, trying to get a hold of her. Once she wouldn't do anything, what I'm saying, guys, there's been so many calls to this head of probation, about these 133 hours. So will somebody please do the math for me? What is 133? It's not hard math. Minus 80. What is 133? Take the 80 minus 133. What's that leave us? What's that leave us? How many? We're just trying to make some of this numbers just make them look foolish, guys. I'm not trying to overdo this, and I will simplify this. You have my word. I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm not stopping until they either come kind of put some kind of other warrant out or whatever. But I hope that doesn't happen, guys. 47 hours. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody's just hanging in there. Let me do this, guys. I'm tired. We got gas in my house, and I did get a few hours, 3 or 4 hours sleep, but I was feeling good earlier. But I made a lot of calls today, guys, and I think I could have dug shovels or built out here or something and been a lot less tired right now. Or dug with shovels and dug some holes or something out here and replaced my poles that they tore down. So we have 47 hours. Okay, you guys. Now, look, I want to try to show you something. For those of you guys who are still following me, if I lost you, I apologize. Those guys who are been or gals that have been on probation. No probation violations let you know at month 33. Nowhere on Elijah's action plan, let's get back to that action plan, does it say that Elijah owes these 133 hours. Which would have meant that he only did 47 hours in 5 months. He would have been violated, guys. He would have been violated. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Elijah had only done 47 hours, we've never done it this way, and I've always in my head been doing it, but if Elijah only had done 47 hours, he would have got a probation violation from Lily for not showing up to his road crew or work crew. He actually didn't get his first probation violation until month 42. Month 42 is when he actually received, because at 36, they said, hey, we don't, Elijah, he didn't get these done in time, these 133 hours in 3 months. So they didn't give him more hours. Remember, he got more hours from here. These are phony hours. So I'm trying to show you that they extend. We don't know where this comes from. It's just so weird how they did this. And I know what it is they said he didn't have because he worked road crew and not community service. That's how they stiffed him and made up this, whatever this fake number is that it's God. I know what it is. And I don't care, guys, what people think about that. I'm a pastor and a teacher. I apologize for my cussing, and normally a pastor wouldn't do that, but I have streamed for thousands of hours. They were cussing. I'm just a little worn down. But again, guys, Elijah did not receive any probation violations. At 40-month 42, they threatened him and gave him, they said, okay, well, you had 36. We're going to extend your probation, and now you have 48 months. And he already started working on these 133 hours with Sheriff Black and Officer Dumar at the Sherman Center and doing work for them. And I was on him back then, like, dude, you need to be writing these hours down. No, I don't want to hear this. You need to be getting digital printouts of this. There is no digital printouts, Dad. I keep trying, but they don't have anything. I'm like, I don't care, Elijah. That's a bunch of crap. Just, you got to get something. There's some way. Dad, I'm going to go over and speak with Dan Budd today, and I think he's going to be able to get me a printout. I don't know. You guys, they don't ever have nothing digital for these people. It's ridiculous. This is criminal, and the most criminal of them all are the stinking probation officers, even more than the, but anyways, are you guys tracking with me? Anybody's been in the system? So they told Elijah, he wasn't getting it done. He tried at month, 36 for 6 months to get, and he started doing work to get these 180 hours documented. His phone is going to have been called back there. I guarantee he has called Lake County Probation. He called Lily. He called Dad. His lady helped him. I remember talking to him about trying to get these hours done. So they told him at this, they threatened him before and told him he had to have this stuff done, all these hours, by month 42, or they were going to throw him in jail. And I freaked out and I'm not sure again if I called John at that point, but I'm like, and they said, well, because you didn't get these hours done, which he did. I don't know exactly how many, because they said he had I remember we went over the math. He said, Dad, first they said I had 95, and then they said I had 89, and that he couldn't get a straight number from where he was at. Okay. And this was back here, but now he did a whole bunch of other work too, for, again, like the soup kitchen, the food for Lane County, the grassroots garden. I was in touch with them the whole time, guys. They're going to have to summons all my phone calls too back there. Me trying to help is, me calling and going, I'll get a hold of Crush again. I'll call Lily again. I'll call Lake County again. So I got this, whatever. But I want to try to show you that, look, they told him, because he didn't finish these hours at month 133, that this lady, Gresha Brunsman, gave him a probation violation for his very first time, which is a bunch of bullshit, because he had already done these hours and now he's working on these hours. And they said, we don't think you're going to get them done in time. And she gave him a probation violation, which is a bunch of crap. And she did have the option for the first time to throw him in jail for 1, 2, or 3 days for his very first. He's never done anything, not another crime, no violations, nothing. And she throws him in jail for the maximum for 3 days. So obviously this lady's in on this crap too, guys, throwing him in jail for 3 days. And now, so Elijah goes to work, and he goes back to work for all these other people. I have right here for evidentiary stream to show you, I have a picture from Cresha Brunsman herself addressing my son back in October 5th of 2023, right about that phone call that I was calling earlier, guys. This is from Cresha Brunsman for evidentiary purposes. Cresha Brunsman right there. There's his Greetje. Gresha, Golf, Romeo, Echo, Tango, Juliet. Tango, Juliet, Echo. Okay, Brunsman. Dear Mr. Werner, that is my son, not addressing me. I have contacted, I'll show you this after I read this. I've contacted Officer Black. I told you this is the one he was working for. I told him, get something printed. So
and she knows I'm on her. I've called. So I talked to Officer Sherman and informed me that you have 23 hours completed. 23? Okay, we're going to write this down for 1 minute because I don't understand this, but whatever. Is she talking about like 123 completed? I don't know, again, where some of these hours they came up with, but doesn't matter. We're going to get to what her email says. She says, and your community service, leaving a balance of 30. A balance means balance is the total of you're going to pay the balance off. Balance, right? With a balance of 30 hours owed. So we're going to look at this and we're going to make it large enough so you can see a balance, leaving a balance up here. I have contacted Officer Black of the Sherman Center. Make sure we're not, I've already showed this on other streams, but we'll just for the purposes, okay? So this is who she talked to, and that he has a balance of 30 hours owed. 30 owed. Back here in October. I guarantee Elijah's done at least 80 or 90 because his wife, girlfriend, Kamala, I don't know how we're going to figure that out, but they've been together that long. I think, it is what it is. But do you hear the head of probation saying he has 30 hours in her email? 30 hours owed. What the hell is going on here? So Elijah did at least 80 or something from there at that point more. His wife would go to work, full-time job, had a good job. I told you they're quiet people to themselves. They don't even have friends, another couple to hang out. They're just doing them. Their circle's small. They ain't trying to be involved in anything else. They've never had a noise complaint. Their neighbors like them. No issues. Where is this 30, guys? See it? I'm like, see where these fucking numbers come from? You see where I'm so pissed I don't... So even at that, Elijah's done like 30 or 40, and then they call down and tell him, no, you got 80. Oh, now you got 55. Look, his wife goes to work with him after working in 5 days a week. 5 days a week, goes and works by his side with him, plus with him, and volunteers her own hours twice a week, 2 days a week, and they go do things after hours, such as the soup kitchen. It's the soup kitchen, which is an after hours program, not just during the day. They went and did, hey, we can't do this 15-minute thing every 15 minutes, switching jobs and stuff. We need full-time work. I'm trying to get off to this thing and not be done with this for good, I want you to keep in mind right now, guys, that Elijah hasn't even hit right now month 48. So technically, if you look back what I'm saying here, they gave Elijah 1 year. From 36 to 48, they gave him 1 year extension of probation, which is bullshit, but they did, to complete these 133 hours where he started working on them. So that gives him 12 months. 12 months. I told you they started threatening him at month 6 into that, saying, we don't think you're going to do this, so we're throwing you in jail. See what I'm saying? They already were targeting him. This is probation targeting from the head of probation as well. Crusher Brunsman should be thrown in jail. Immediately, dereliction to duty. I called her to her face and told her that, I called her and told her that. So even now, Elijah's still in the window to complete these hours, which I don't want him doing because he already did over and over and over, guys. She went to work and did sign up. Her John Hancock was next to his, so not only did so she's working 7 days a week, this lady, to try to help him get off probation, guys. Even if it came down to, like Dan said, well, he only gave them 25, they needed 55. The one day they left 3 hours early because I knew they had issued a warrant for Elijah's arrest. And he went and looked and said, yep, they canceled me. I'm not in the system. They want me to turn myself in here or come turn myself in Lake County. I said, oh, come out here. He got out here and he said, He told me he had to turn it. I said, bullshit, Elijah, never surrender. You surrender yourself out here. We're going to get in front of this. We're going to get somebody to pick this up, news, Elijah, or something. This will work somehow. And it didn't go out, guys. And what it is. And I streamed for 17 days, 60, sometimes 16 hours a day, guys, trying to get just one phone call from these people, just one. And actually, I didn't get the phone call until you hear me on that day. And I don't mean to laugh, but I'm yelling the phone call at them, yelling them or my telephone number, and they did call me. It's so. But anyways, brothers and sisters, he's still within the window. So I don't know why they started threatening him back here. So when they said at month 45, guys, month 45, they said, you know what? We don't think you're going to complete the program. We're issuing a warrant for your arrest. Are you hearing this? And I told Crusher Brunsman, don't you dare throw him in jail again. Don't you dare throw him in jail. That was illegal. You kidnapped him. He had more time to complete this. This is crazy. He's already done these 180, lady. And now you've made him double dip in the system. He's put his head down, didn't get a violation until month 42. And now you're at month 45 telling him you're going to start his downward departure and throw him in prison for 5 years. Fuck you. I'll arrest him. Go ahead and try to issue a search warrant for him. Go ahead and issue a warrant. I'll arrest his body. I'm a prior law enforcement, and I considered my arresting his body and will before you could ever think that I'm going to let you get a hold of you. Mark my words. Crusher Brunsman, you go ahead and issue. That's not warranted in my eyes. I'm not going to get his ass get raped by some man who can't keep his cock to himself, Crusher. You know, that happens in prison, Crusher. He's not a violent. He's proved he's not violent. He's put his head down, and you guys keep just pounding him, giving him more hours. He can't make it right. His lady's down there working with him. I'm telling you, if you think you issue a warrant, I guarantee you, mark my words, you will not get him, Crusher. I will have him and arrest his body myself. And my arrest is more warranted for his safety of his asshole, Crusher. This is the message that I left. Do you understand? And told her, this is bigger than just my son, though. Hope you understand, Jay. This is for everybody who's been caught in this system, guys. I'm telling this lady, you can't do this to him. This is illegal. You already kidnapped him. In my eyes, that's kidnapping. And I'm not going to let you. So go ahead and issue that warrant. And they did, guys. And they did. They did. And and when my son came out here, that's why he told me, he's like, Dad, I got to surrender myself. I'm like, look, you're not going nowhere. Your wife's not going nowhere. Fuck you. I don't want to hear surrender. I'm a veteran. They bucking with the wrong guy, Elijah. We're going to get this straightened out. God will provide. So he's doing it right now, guys. Just so you know, whatever this is, the difficult is the path, you know, narrow is the path, straight is the gate. So I gotta go through this for everybody else that's in the system. And unfortunately now I got felony charges and I don't care about my charges. Please help me. You can help me by being like Keely Pack, my moderator, and writing a beautiful letter. She sent it to the Examiner. I need this to get to the news. This should be national news. They came here, guys, after 17 days and executed a warrant on this house. So it's there. I hope that's simple math. This is all an overreach, guys. Elijah, let's add it up. Let's say, because I know Elijah did. What is 180? Now, guys, now watch this. They lock Elijah up for 3 days in jail, the maximum. And I've seen, because I had his wife look up. She was very distraught about him, you know, potentially, going to prison, Look, I said, there's some hours that he's supposed to get. Call, because it's a statewide thing. It's not just a county thing that if they put you in jail, you get a certain amount of community service hours. You understand? So it's 16 for every day. So if Elijah did 16, that's 3 days. There's all those 55 hours he needed. Plus, there's no way Elijah would have not. Now, let's not count those hours at all. Okay, guys? Because they did put him in jail. But I have paperwork and did see, and I believe that I've seen it. It's on Elijah's thing, too, about where they actually said that we're not counting this towards your community service, which is a bunch of bull crap, okay?
I need this to go out of the state, guys. I'm at risk of them coming in here and shooting me any day. And whatever it is, if God wants to take me, he will. I'm not over here living in fear, but I'm more in fear of his girlfriend, wife of year, wife. Because I'm old fashioned. They've been together for several years, probably even common law married or whatever. But she's caught in the middle of this. She's not even on the warrant. And she's the one that I need to throw funding to. And if I can get it out of the system. See, right now they can't even make a deal with myself because I don't have legal counsel. They kept me in jail an extra week, which is illegal. But with her not having legal counsel, like if Ted Martin, the district attorney who has this hard on for me and now taking it out online, and part of it too, that, that he needs to negotiate the judge to turn these charges away, take away, at least for now, his wife's. He can deal with me and Elijah if he thinks that he wants to take me to the box. I don't think. Okay, cool. CJ, I see it's happening everywhere. This is in Oregon, guys, and this is why I'm doing it for you guys, because this isn't the only state where things like this happens, man. No, he's not in jail. I bailed him out, okay? I bailed him out. He spent like 9 days in there before somebody was able to get to the precious metals that I had saved for years and years. It's been years since I bought any, and took the gold that I had and the silver. I told you, everybody, it's liquid money, man. It's easy to get rid of. I mean, land's kind of nice because people will buy it, but you can go straight to your coin shop. And if you had that relationship that I told you on this channel, it was liquid. And I'd like to have, I don't know how much of it was gone, but I think it's, but it's God's money, and so thank you, God. They threw God, and they threw Christ Jesus in the clink and prison him and put holes in him. And I think they really were going to try to put holes in me that day. And he said, "Conform to my image." So I'm just doing what my Father tells me to do. And he stood up to the law, brothers and sisters. Remember, Christ Jesus. He wasn't some kind of that easy other Jesus. This is of course the halakha, the Haggadah. I teach that on this channel. The perversion of the Aramaic. From that Hebrew, the changing and oral and written law they created, and he was getting on him, man. You do the works of your father, the devil. The synagogues of Satan. He wasn't some, some easy other Jesus. The Apostle Paul worried about it. So I love to teach, brothers and sisters. I apologize for the followers that this has gotten in the way. I am a pastor. I try to, provide that sanctuary here at High Desert Grace and Truth for Elijah. And I think we were okay. It is the day that I'm not hiding for anything, try to go get his wife a shower. Didn't turn out as planned, but it is what it is. I don't think their charges will even stick on that because, they didn't, come in and then pursue. Nobody exited the vehicle. They just opened the door, shut the door, turned around and left. So how's that some kind of hyperspeed pursuit? Nobody sped. Elijah's speed didn't increase at all. The docu-cam, I wasn't even given that under right discovery, guys. A lot of crazy things, but other than that, there really is. Well, think about it, and I'm not hiding that from that too either. You know what I'm saying? It is that docu-cam will show that there's only one person that was passed. So no publics was put at risk or their safety. Only that one white vehicle, and Elijah's speed on the docu-cam, I'm sure on their whatever, when they turn on their lights or whatever, will show his speed didn't increase or anything. We were almost to the house. I mean, like I said, the cop that followed us for 4.5, 5, almost the whole way, and then right there, at the end, Elijah's turned in the driveway, and it is what it is. If you watch it, I was barking at him, but make your own paper and have community service boss sign it. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate it. I broke it down. I flipped this. If you guys can make a contribution to Adriana monetarily, you got a rich uncle. You just, I don't know, Bitcoin's up. You just sold some precious metals. I have a piece of land that I called today, a 5-acre parcel that I could probably pay. Maybe I have about 6 or 8 months left of paying on it. I paid for it almost 5 years. That's going to be the first thing I try to sell.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate it. But I mean, I'm trying to just do it for everybody too, not just myself. I don't want this to be about me and Elijah. This is a much bigger thing. So I do appreciate all the kind words, and everybody apologize. I can't get to all these comments and back here. So I have this spot in my vision now, from that concussion grenade and the flash grenade, and it's a little hard. My eye is not working like it was, and the hearing's getting a little weird now, even more than it was. But I'm doing okay. It's not about me. It's not about Elijah right now. I'm sure he had a case today, and I can't I can't talk to him, and I hope he made it. You know, he only has that Jeep. He had vehicles that got good gas mileage and super reliable, the Hondas that he works on. But remember, he was going to try to come out here, move out with his crazy dad out here in the desert, and had sold that to buy that Jeep. So darn it, you know, I hope that it costs a lot more money to drive. And did he have the money? And did he get there? I can't talk to him, man. I feel so broken. You know, I'm sure my son will be okay, but even more, I don't know if Adriana had a court appointment today. I hope they got their guys and made it back home safely. They can't even be together. So I'm hoping that something will provide for Adriana. You know, that's my daughter. He was been with her, his last girlfriend. They were high school sweethearts, Adriana to Adriana, but I messed that up a couple times, guys. I got tore up for that. But his girlfriend now is very equally yoked to him. They read the Word of God together. They study. Again, they focus on them. They've never had a noise complaint where they live for a while. It's a nice, clean place. They got an extra bedroom there. I've stayed there a couple of nights. I don't like it's in town. I get all weird in town, but they're a good. Elijah's not perfect, but he did his time. You know, 5-1, 5-1. The guy, the rapist, doesn't go to. I'm just a dad that was like, hey, what the heck's going on here? You guys, I even gave the state or this county way back in Elijah's case, like, well, hey, they all smoke a cigarette butt, and they're like a bunch of hippies. They're all passing that cigarette around. It'll have Elijah's DNA on it. If my son's DNA is on it, I want him to be just convicted just as much as everybody else. I'm not asking for any special treatment of my son. So why would you give him evidence like that? You brothers, sisters, it's about doing what's righteous, correct? You know, and I know the Lord will pour out a just measure. He gives all of us a different measure. Hallelujah. Right? And he pours out a different measure on each of us. Yeah, no, it's my retina was burned, John, is what they did. They burned my retina with that. If you watch it, 45 seconds. I mean, they weren't even here a minute, guys, and they were already shooting me in the face. So I think they came here with different intentions, guys. So, but all things after the Father's, his counsel. He creates all things. The creator of all things, the great I am. I know he's in charge here. He is the wind in my sail, and I hope he can keep pushing me through here. And I need to get Adriana counsel, guys. So that's my focus now, is getting that young lady. She's been charged and getting those charges dropped immediately. Whether she wants to file the lawsuit or not, her name's not on that warrant. I don't see probable cause for what they're saying. They need that. And you don't have warrants for somebody or put somebody in a felony with 2 felonies and class C felonies and a misdemeanor and not have them listed on the warrant. So I really feel like it must be God holding it back, guys. I can't think of any other reason, because I'm trying and I'm not going to stop to push as hard as I can to keep putting this information as I have. You can go see the old live streams of what I've done here in the past few, and I know it's quite repetitive, but I need this to get out of the state. I'm actually going to call for a change of venue because I think it's a conflict of interest. Yeah, cool. So, but I'm very pleased that how everybody, that day, my son, myself, and his wife weren't combative and didn't get crazy, and Stop drinking it, bro. Let's talk about trust the plan. White capital and all capital letters. Only my moderators get to type in all capital letters. You'll be immediately banned for typing in all capital letters. Okay? Bye-bye. Well, we have to leave it to them. We have to leave it to them. They have to have, special powers. They're the moderators. So you got to go. So you can't scream in here and yell like a child. Only my moderators get to scream and yell all they want because they're the moderators with the wrench. That's why they get the wrench. That way they would get their attention. Actually, that's for me. That's way, if something's all in capital letters, I won't pay attention to it normally. But if it's all caps, then I know it's them. And it will, hey, Tracy, I'm trying to tell you something, So much love, moderators. Lady in Red is the best moderator in all of YouTube. Normally when I'm preaching the gospel or whatever, I feel like it sometimes. I hope it's moving people. The difference between a teacher and a preacher, it's him moving, inside me, brothers, and hopefully it's moving whoever's listening to the word. But when I'm teaching, the gospel, it's, guys, it's where I find any enjoyment in this world. I get a little overcome, and I miss it at times. So I apologize. The channel's been a little clogged up with these legal things, but it's what God would do too. I believe, remember Ephesians 5, be not partakers in their unfruitful works of darkness, expose them. So I'm never going to stop doing that. Even when I went in jail, that's not, they never really want to hear about it all the time. I have to be a little careful in there too. Don't overdo it. You got to live with these guys, and, but it didn't never stop me. Remember, he says, if you deny me in front of your friends, your family and in public, in jail, I'll deny you in front of my Father. So I ain't trying to go there. Okay. I know what I'm doing here is, it's costly, whatever, but the monetary thing isn't my thing. So I'm hoping some land will sell here real quick. Not violence under this testament. New Panther is, remember, it used to be eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And that used to be a thing. Somebody came and, maybe killed your brother, you go kill his brother, but not now, not under this testament. No, sir. He says, do not avenge yourself. Let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So you can protect yourself, but you can't avenge, yourself. He said, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So you can't, God doesn't condone. That's a good question. I can tell you this without changing the law or the word. He says, don't add or take away that you do have the right to protect yourself and your family. Somebody's trying to cause you bodily harm, they're going to hurt, you can protect yourself. Is that violent? That's not, I don't believe that would be, is UFC violence? Those guys beating the snot out of each other, is that violence? I really believe that's a sport. And I think those guys are professionals. All of them, really. They just, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them shake hands and it's not even a thing, it's more, again, so, but spiritually, let's speak about you and me, because we're not some kind of UFC wrestlers in some kind of grappling match right here, Muay Thai or something. We're talking about, you said violence, because it is a good question. I love teaching on that, because that is the gospel, is that he came back to save all flesh. But see, now it's not eye for an eye. It's not a tooth for a tooth. He said, do not avenge yourself. Let vengeance be mine. If more people would live by that, brothers, sisters, this world wouldn't even be. We wouldn't have militaries outside our borders, would we? So I rebuke all vets, and I rebuke myself, because I'm a vet. So turn in your whatever and say, no, I'm going home. God overcame me and said, he said, let vengeance be mine. And what the hell am I doing out in one of these 180 countries in one of these 1,003 military bases? And that's not even include the wars we're in. So I expose this as a veteran. And I know that, remember, at least our founding father, George Washington, said, what? No foreign entanglements. So, no, I really do think John Smith are professionals, and I like that they get a little entertainment set up. Dana White is very creative marketer, and but that's not a violent sport, that MMA, and anyway, so there can be, men can, back in the day, you used to get in kind of a deal with, somebody, the bully or something, and then you guys would have it out with each other. I'm old fashioned, and then you guys get along the rest of the year. You're best buddies. So, but I'm not for violence anymore. I'm not a weak man. Hopefully I've shown that, but meek, yeah, I am meek. I will definitely say that. There's a difference between being meek and weak. Okay. Remember, he said, wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. And I hope I showed that. I try not to go out there and cause a bunch of stir, but I think I was strong enough too to show you that to stand there and get shot in the face and, get gashed and try to be concerned about you, in the future. I can't just go out, guys. I'm so tired for me and old now, or, I'm not that darn old, but, sometimes I just want to do me, but I got to keep going for my son. He did all these hours back here, and for them to jump him and tell him he did all these, he didn't did only 47 hours, cool. Yeah. We'll teach on that sometimes, freedom, Christina, one time. I won't go on to that, but, give me a subscription, guys. Yeah, I'm old school, so that's just the way I am, man. I can't help it. I'm an old soul, whatever. Just don't. I'm a lot older than this meat suit that I'm in right now. I'm actually pretty in shape and healthy and all that. I'm not, not that I'm, just mentally, guys. I'm a little worn down because these people have really done some horrible things to my son, and some horrible things to his wife, and some horrible things to my animals. My animals had to stay in this this cabin with 5 or 6 tear gas canisters in here. They shot in here, all the rubber bullets. They picked all that stuff up outside. It was taken, but there was I have been found more in here. So they didn't get them all, but, the dogs had to stay in here. Little kittens had to stay in here. Actually, I kicked them animals out. The other dog left because he'd cough for days or whatever, wherever he left after here. He's not here anymore, but I'm hoping to get him back pretty soon here. Mr. Pants is okay though, and he's done coughing now. I have a little cough today, but that's normal. That could be anything. So I'm glad he's healthy. I done kicked the cats outside because I don't want them being in here. They were too small. Had to spend. Hallelujah. Thank you, lady in red. Sarah. So anyways, the animals are doing okay, and I'm all right, but I'm still very concerned for his wife more than anything. So some of the people in the town said, man, you just had to go talk to that guy. They called the sheriff's station and said, we've been watching him. We know who he is. He's real boisterous out here. You just got a chip on your shoulder, man, for the guy. Why did you do that to his house? You didn't have to do that. You could have just, if you wanted his son, you could have pulled up. Yeah, he might have yelled at you for a minute, but he wouldn't have come out with no gun. And if you wanted Elijah that bad, all you had to do is talk to him about that 180 hours, and he would have let you go. You would have let him go, man. Why the hell did you do that to him? And I think that there are some people locally who really do care about me, brothers and sisters, and I don't care about me, but they're like, look, man, we think you wanted to off him. He got out that door with that live stream, and he wouldn't have been alive, and we know it. And now it makes sense why her name is not, his wife's name's not on the warrant, but they're like, we know you have him. Don't you dare think you can just make him yeah, cool. I need the feds in this too, and I don't want them. You hear me calling out in the warrant. I haven't even got a call from the feds. So honestly, guys, I better wrap this up. Getting a little bit too long in the tooth here, but I love just hanging out with you guys for, and for my son. I feel like this has to be done, man. And for the people that this has been done to, this case is bigger than the 3 felonies or whatever. They're not going to convict me, guys. And I'm not saying that I've got some kind of special power, but I'm taking it to the box. Unless they drop this, I will take to this box. And if the jury just watches, and I don't want to watch it again, maybe 10 minutes of that live stream of even the warrant. You hear me pleading to them, you guys. For hundreds of hours, live streamed, trying to get them to come here. And for years, I tried to get them to call me. They wouldn't do it until the day of their calling me. People believe that was only a distraction to try to get me off that live stream, guys, so I'd walk out that door without being on this live stream. So thank God for tech, guys. And otherwise, I don't have a big circle. And thank you guys for you. You know what I'm saying? Bless you guys. I think it's the Lord doing this, and I don't know why the Lord is holding this from going, again, I think the mainstream needs to pick it up. I'm not into that mainstream, but maybe one of the Fox News in Bend, Oregon or something, the city that's next to me or something. And then the alternative media picks it up, then it will go global, guys, because I think people all over the United States should know about this and around the world. I mean, I do have followers here on YouTube that are from all over, but I mean, like this needs to be bigger than this, guys. And I don't think I'll have any issues with having funding for this. I think some organization will come in and say, hey, we're going to put $1 million in this fund for this case, because it needs to go into appellate court, and this needs to be ruled, and it just needs to be bigger than just Tracy Werner or Elijah Werner. Okay. So that's what I know my son would want that too. He wouldn't want this to be just about us. He's a kind man. And as you can see, he did a lot of hours, guys. So let's leave it with that, man. Thank you. Bless you guys. Love you. Much agape, man. Let's just do one more quick math thing so I can kind of from my head. What is 180 hours and 133 hours, guys? Thanks for coming in from Canada. Thanks for that subscription, guys. I appreciate the support. Even if you just hang with me here, and I'll try to still teach a little bit of the word. And please go see Brother Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries here on YouTube. He's an excellent channel, and I mirror that channel when I'm not all caught up with this legal mumbo jumbo. Thank you, Lady in Red. Appreciate it, you guys hanging out. I did get a little long. I'll make it much shorter next time. This is just my first kind of dry run after erasing the board, but you can help me by getting this out of this county. Again, Keely Pack, she wrote a beautiful letter. She'll forward you that at the Gmail. Lady in Red keeps dropping my Cash App and my PayPal. If you can help, I will not take a dime right now from any one of you. I will take hundreds of dollars. I will take thousands of dollars if you have it. They create all kinds of GoFundMes for all kinds of people, guys. I need to get my son's wife an attorney. She does not have an attorney at this time. That is very risky, because if the county wanted to make a deal with her right now, they couldn't, to even drop her charges, guys. This has got to be God doing this, guys. I can't even believe that's happening. Can you believe how incredible? Did you hear what I just said? If they wanted to drop her charges, they couldn't even do that, because they pushed this legal. They came and swatted the house, and that put charges against me and him, my son and her. That means it all has to be done in court now. So I can't do this. As much as I tried for it not to even happen that way, for them to come talk to me, they pushed this into that situation. I don't have an attorney. You see me asking, hey, get me some money for me. I'm not telling you get me any money for me. Or if you can't do money, then try to push it out of the thing. That's even more valuable, because I probably won't need any money at that point, because this is bigger. It's pointing out, guys, that they can't even prosecute the crimes in this state right now. This is not just this county that's doing it. All counties in the state of Oregon are having a problem with this, and they're turning people out after 7 days. I just spent 14 days, guys, a whole 7 extra days. So you're really helping a guy that's been pushed back a little bit too, to help me help his wife. Otherwise, I'd already have a week or two on this. But now I'm a little worn down after spending 17 days live streaming, sometimes 16 hours a day. So your support is much appreciated. If I get no monetary thing, it's okay, guys. The Lord will provide. If there's a will, there's a way. But gosh, I wish tomorrow or tonight that and I don't mean to go there, that Cash App would ring so that I could, could give Adriana the money so that she could have the legal representation, so that they can know that she's not on the warrant, and there's no warrant here for her. I've got the right of discovery. There's not another one, and they need to drop these charges against her. And they can work on Elijah and I if they want to continue this. I'm not going to try to run from anything I've done. I jumped in front and said, "You're not having my son. You're not arresting him. He's here if you want him, but you're going to have to call and talk about these 180 hours before I ever release him into your, potential rape cage. It's not going to happen." And I did, and I was a man of my word, and I told the county of Lane that I would do it, and I kept my word. So, Lord, if you have it in your will, if anybody prays for me tonight, don't pray for anything other than God's will. Don't pray for anything else. If he wants me to go locked up and get prison the rest of my life, don't get in the way of that, please. If that's what he wants for me, if he wants this to go away or whatever in any way, don't just pray for his will, okay, for me. If anybody's going to have prayers for me or my son or his wife, don't pray for anything. Pray for what God wants for us, please. Let's not step in the way. Garth Brooks, unanswered prayers. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? So don't pray for things and don't get in the way of the will of the Father, please. That's what I'm hoping. But I do hope that he will provide a way for somebody to get a hold of this monetarily. Or, Luke will call me tomorrow and say, "Hey, Tracy, you got, 6 payments at $150, 8 payments at $150. I'll sell that motorcycle for whatever it is that I have. I'll drop it to half price. It'll sell like that." I have people want it, now, but they just don't have they're trying to shuffle some funds. That KE is a really neat bike. I wanted to really keep it to go just like get that truck that I want now and just be mobile and go to the woods with, but whatever. It's more important that I get Adriana an attorney so that she can not take some kind of charge, because she's scared too for something she didn't even do. So my focus is Adriana. I love my son. We're going to have to hang tough, me and him. We're going to have to deal with this. It is what it is. I got him bailed out of jail for now. So that means it's going to take a minute to give him a hearing. So I know he ain't going to prison right away. I did talk to my attorney about that. So my heart's settled, but now my heart is just broken for Adriana right now. I don't care if I go to prison. I don't like the laying on the beds, but the water's sucked down there. But Adriana can't take a charge. I'd feel so bad if she did something like that. She's never been arrested, and she's probably just scared out of her mind without her husband right now. So cool. John, if you want to get a hold of Keely, she's got some information where you can kind of get a short synopsis, I think, that she wrote that's really nice, that you can. I got to keep pushing on this live stream and document these hours. You have my word. The next time you come in, guys, I'll do a little bit shorter version of this, and we'll talk about, there's more information on the case. Go check out the live stream. You're welcome to share anything on this platform that I have, any content. The First Amendment audit that I did, they already took that second part down. The live stream of the raid, if you will. Cool. All right. Yeah. Don't commit crimes. Look at Michael, like he gives a shit about anybody that's ever been in the system. So okay. Love you guys. Much agape. Thank you for dropping the links consistently, Lady in Red, and Keely was in here earlier. So whatever. Don't commit crimes. Well, guess what? I'll commit this crime a million times over there, Michael, right? So that people that have getting caught in this system, like my son or others, don't have the issues that maybe you're not, but others have issues in the system. So yeah, brothers, sisters, not everybody's perfect. Don't commit crimes, but if your son's about ready to be thrown in prison after doing, what's that, 133? What was the math? 133 and 80? What's that, 213? Right? Or 313? No, that's more than that, huh? What's the math on that? That's not 180, is it? I think my son has proven to be a very non-prideful man that would put his head down and do what he's told. He's not a criminal, guys. Elijah's not a criminal. 133 hours plus 180 is, and thrown in jail for 3 days. And you saw me show you that Crusher Brunsman said he only had 30 hours to do back in October 2023. He's done at least probably 100 hours since then, guys. My son has been double dipped, and that's why I'm doing this. And now I'm facing felony charges. They've wrecked my property. You can go back and see, all my kennels that I had out here. There's 2 large kennels that I worked hard on, and they just crushed it all and ran it over. Just had a field day shooting at us out here. So, okay. Love you guys. If there's anybody who can help with getting this out of the state, that's my major concern right now for my self. I'm going to definitely looking in for a change of venue. Always agape, guys. They call me Apocalypse and Revelation. That's what I told them when they arrested me, on this. If I ever got arrested, if they ask what my name is, I tell them my name was Apocalypse and Revelation, and that's exactly what I did. What's your name? I said, I am Apocalypse. I'm Revelation. And she's like, that's not your name. That's a charge. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but anyways, so that's what I'm on this channel, guys, because that's what I love to do. I love to reveal the truth. And he said, the truth is what sets you free. So that's what I'm here trying to expose, the truth of this matter. So always agape. And if you can help monetarily, there's a PayPal and a CashApp. If not, please get a hold of somebody out of my county and out of my state and tell them about this. I'm hoping tomorrow some news reporters show up. 541-214-9232. I'm not afraid to give out my number. I left it on the stream. I called it out on the live stream of the raid. You can have anybody call me that can help me. I'm not afraid for my phone to ring. I'm kind of a loner, so it'd be kind of nice for it to ring, but maybe it'd be somebody from the news that will take this up. Please help me, guys. I've been pushing for now, I did 17 days of streaming, did 14 days in jail, and now I've been out a week tomorrow, I believe, or something like that. So I'm trying to do everything in my strength and with my resources at this time to get my son, through this, but more importantly now his wife, an attorney. So always agape.